Welcome to 84 of New Money Talks.
That's it.
Easy. All right, we're going.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
We got to be careful with the softwares that we say for the email marketing, but he's the email marketing king over
He
here.
actually is.
I'm just the king of the inbox.
He's the king of the inbox.
The king of the inbox.
He used to wear a crown and a cape.
Tool, agnostic of the tool.
Agnostic.
And this is part 2. So we did part 1 almost a year ago now.
No,
Yeah, virtually.
Longer, dog.
Really?
I think 2 years, maybe 3.
No,
it had to be like a year and a half.
Year and a half
Yeah.
for sure. You're probably like episode 15 or so over there.
All right.
Yeah. Damn.
So what's the 1,000-foot overview of who you are, what you do, and what changed with what you did a year and a half ago to now?
Or then you grow in this stash.
Got the stash. I have another baby.
Congrats.
Nice.
Let's just see, dude.
You
I
have
don't
6
know.
chickens.
I'm just a mouth-breathing marketer.
Okay.
That's it. I'm just like
Everyone we have on.
I'm just
Yeah.
like a web cretin, you know.
Creed.
So what's changed? Like I don't think anything. I feel the same, dude. Just older, wiser. With another baby, dude, and chickens,
And chickens. Yeah, you told me you have 6 chickens.
Yeah.
They make an egg a day.
dude.
That's
Like my
kinda
protein game
nuts.
is on point.
Protein game on point. Do you collect the eggs?
I eat those motherfuckers.
No, I'm saying, do you like do you
No,
go
I
chicken
don't.
by chicken and grab them every day?
My kids do it.
Kids do it.
Dude,
Yeah.
with the cost of eggs these days.
Yeah.
Well, that was my wife's pitch as to why we should get chickens.
and the cost of chicken.
Yeah, but the chickens are
can
cheap, dude. You buy
Cut the chicken and eat the chicken.
no, there's different. I found this out. There's different types of chickens for meat
Oh,
and
shoot.
different types of chickens for eggs, and you can eat the eggs of meat chickens, but they're not as good.
I didn't know
So we
that.
got like some bougie egg
Bougie
chickens.
egg chickens. Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude.
How much does a chicken cost?
Dude, they're cheap. They're like $6 each.
$6
But we
for
buy
the
them
whole
babies,
chicken.
and then we have to raise them.
Oh, wow.
And now they're mature enough to start laying eggs. We got our first egg like last week.
Oh,
Damn.
sick. Is it like a whole like incubator type of thing?
No,
Or
they
like,
live in just like a coop,
Little
chicken
hens.
coop.
Oh, nice. It's
Yeah,
like in your backyard.
They were under the lights and shit when they were chicks, you know.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
It's like in your backyard you have
Yeah.
this.
Now I just built them like a fucking mansion, dude.
Really?
We had this like baby ass coop that my wife got, and they outgrew it, and now this one is like, I don't even know, dude. Maybe like 20 square feet.
For the
Not-
chickens.
I could stand up in it, dude. It's like
That's pretty
nice.
sick.
Yeah.
Can they like mate and create?
No,
you need
it's
a
only
rooster, right?
yeah, but we don't have rooster.
Yeah.
Just chickens. I don't want those problems.
That's a funny.
Boy, speaking of cost of eggs, day after election day.
Yeah, the ads
today.
should go down right now.
Ads
right?
are- I saw Fazio posted that CPMs are down 15% already.
Which makes
Wow.
sense. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
How do you think Trump getting elected influences the e-commerce world with these fucking tariffs?
I just think we'll be I just think money will move more freely like it did when he was here the last time. So, you know, everything's been like tight since what's his face got here. So I just think it'll be like more free flowing
Yeah.
like it was before.
Makes sense. Yeah.
What do you think about like the tariff plans?
I'm
Taxing
down
product on
on
China.
America's #1, dude. Whatever we got to do. I think it's time we need to like reclaim the helm.
Does that impact?
Yeah.
if,
We'll
like-
start dropshipping from the US. Fuck
That's right.
dropshipping
That's
from
what I'm
the
saying.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot so suppliers who are shipping products to the United States, they'll pay tariffs and then we just get it at
That'll
cost.
help ship dudes right there, you know? So
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, help increase
Yeah.
the TAM. Yeah, exactly. I love it. But like, no, like legitimately, we were talking about before. I had heard of you like 5-6 years ago, type of thing. And this is kind of sick because like you sold your agency. I know you're working on other shit now, like other agency. You have a recruiting business as well too. Like if you were to define yourself right now, like what are you doing in a sense other than just moping around and buying chickens?
Dude, I'm not moping. I'm just like, I don't know. I just like offers,
Okay,
you know? And so like agency services is an offer.
fair.
I do the recruiting business. That's like a different
Yeah.
type of offer. But I'm just like, I don't know, dude. I always tell my boy, Marketing Max, we talk all the time, and like, I'm just diseased, dude. Like, I just love offers and marketing, ads, emails. And I don't know, I've been in the game for so long. I just kind of like see the matrix. So I kind of take it
Yeah.
for granted.
For sure.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's just routine.
Well, I'm curious, like, what do you see? Like, for example, I know you're doing like the recruiting stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you see in that kind of
I
made
just,
sense?
with the recruiting stuff,
What's it called exactly? Too?
Talent HQ.
We'll shout it out.
Thanks,
Talent HQ, free
And
sponsor.
I just saw that I built when I was building the agency, a combination of talent stateside and talent overseas. And then increasingly more, I feel like access to talent overseas is like democratized for small businesses, or it's starting to click that like, oh, I don't just have to get someone in the continental US to do certain things, especially things that can be done remotely. Like, and I think Corona was like a big eye opener for a lot of people. And so much so that now it's just like people's eyes are open to the fact that you can look overseas, whether let's just say Latin America, for example, to get someone to do the same things. You can get someone to do it in Wisconsin.
Like, give me examples of stuff. Like,
I mean, it could be running meta ads, something that's a little bit more sophisticated. It could be someone that's sort of like a block and tackle marketing generalist, any back office related stuff. I feel like any job that's makes 80, 100K a year and can be done remotely, increasingly more those roles will be outsourced to people in other countries just because of the ARB from the cost of labor standpoint.
For sure.
And the more sophisticated roles that require, I don't know, expertise, finesse, that are like the pay grade is higher, like those will stay here. But a lot of the downstream stuff, I feel like it's gonna become very competitive from a labor market standpoint.
When you're running Tetra, for example, do you have a whole bunch of outsourced people?
I had about, I would say, a third of the team was overseas and 2/3 of the team was here. When I started the agency, I was like, I'm only hiring Americans. Americans need jobs too. And I still like obviously fundamentally believe that. But on the other hand, like there's a lot of stuff you have to deal with here that you don't have to deal with there. Not to say that does it come with its own host of problems that are.
So like that third of people, what were they doing too? I'm curious.
They were doing within the Klaviyo accounts, a lot of like setting up the emails, testing them.
And you trust these people that they can do this stuff?
They go through the hiring process just like someone in Idaho would.
Yeah.
Right? So it's still evaluating their skills and abilities just like anyone. And then I even had some people that were like more, I would say, client facing, like a strategist. They would have to get on client calls and communicate whatever the strategy was or the performance was in English to the client. But like there's just less of those people that have the skills, the expertise to be able to do that. So I just think like at the end of the day, these people are human also, and there's plenty of capable people that happen to live outside of the continental US. And the higher up you go up the totem pole in terms of skill and expertise, the fewer of them there are.
Yeah,
they're still out there. But the back office, more admin stuff, 800K and below, they're readily available.
Interesting.
Overseas.
And like, how do you scale this business? Like, agency's easier. Like, you sign a contract, they're there for months and months and months. This is more like a one-time placement fee, from my understanding. Like, how do you grow that by not having to just like fight for every goddamn?
So I do it two ways. I look at a la carte. So there's, generally speaking, in the talent business, there's recruiting, like headhunting fee, like you hired a headhunter. And the other way is what's it called? Like temps, where essentially you rent the talent from the company.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
And so generally that's how money's made. If someone hires someone that's a temp, they are paying their salary plus some override that the company is taking.
And they're paying you.
Yeah, let's just say I was running temps, and I said this role is $2,000 a month. The salary for the person is $1,200, and I clip $800 a month.
Got it.
So that's one way. On the placement side, it's generally like a one-time fee for the headhunt, and then the way that I think about it is I want to incentivize people to get hiring more than one person over the course of a year. So the way we're doing it right now is, let's just say someone gets 5 hires a year for $10K, billed monthly. So it's just a subscription of, right now it's $835 a month. Anytime you need a person, we become like the de facto recruiter for them, like outsource recruiter for the company. And that way we can normalize sort of like cash flow because we get them on the monthly, and they get up to 5 seats a year. And if they want more seats, just upsell to the next package. So it's sort of like SaaSified from a pricing standpoint.
Interesting. I like that.
And makes it very accessible. And you don't have to pay the huge pops for the one-time recruiting fee, which a lot of times is very misaligned, like between the recruiter and the client, because they're incentivized to get a higher salary. So we just do like flat time fee. But a lot of times for some businesses, it's cost prohibitive to do the pop for the recruiting fee.
So even now, where you say like it's kind of a slower season of hiring, you still have kind of a smooth-ish revenue stream just because you have people on subscription.
Right. That in the next 12 months are going to hire up to 5 people.
Gotcha.
And so like it's still early days.
Yeah.
From an offer standpoint. But initial signals are good. But let's talk in March.
Yeah. Damn. And like, I'm curious, like, what makes you think it's a good signal? Like, just people are biting on it type of thing?
Yeah. Just like the close rate is good. The service is good. We get good feedback from just like running the process on their first hire and how quickly they want to place the second one. Just signals like that. And people that we've placed for so far, even the a la cartes, they like the upgrade rate to what we're calling the membership is like 75%.
Okay.
So it's just like those initial signals are good, even though volume isn't the craziest. But
how How'd you even think of this too?
Well, I did it for myself.
You did it for yourself. Yeah.
And then I know that hiring's just like, dude, it's just
It
like
sucks.
the fucking worst, bro.
No, it sucks.
And so then if you think about like, you run your own shop,
Yeah.
and then they don't teach you stuff in school. You have to like make a fucking bajillion mistakes and get shafted.
That's why I hired Eamon.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
Shout out Eamon.
it's like most people, it's just not easy to do. And it's also super low leverage. If you think about it, like hiring one role, you have to do the job description. You have to run it up. You have to review a bunch of applications and resumes, choose the people that you want to interview, and then interview them. And then are they good? Then give them theoretically like some sort of test or something to determine their aptitude, and then have a follow-up interview, and then make an offer, then negotiate. And it's just like a huge time suck for if you're like, especially if you're running the business, it's not the
100%.
highest and best use of time.
Yeah.
So I just think that I just think it's just like, so that part of it sucks. So that's part of the reason. And then two, I'm just like increasingly more so in terms from a demand standpoint, more people are going to start to hire nearshore or overseas talent. And I would love to be the bridge to help them to be able to do that in a cost effective manner. And they save a ton of time.
Like we were talking about the company Shepherd before.
Yeah.
Like they just blew up in a sense.
Yeah.
You know why or how they blew up.
Just
Right.
good marketing, dude.
Just good marketing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally just the same offer as everybody else.
Yeah.
Just good
Well,
marketing.
and maybe they price a little bit different or the package is different, but fundamentally what's being fulfilled is the same. And they just have a really good megaphone.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Twitter.
Yeah. And the people involved.
Yeah. The people involved are big. Yeah. Yeah.
But there's plenty to go around.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, hiring's a pretty big, massive market. So
Yeah.
it's like, it makes sense. Interesting. I'm curious, like on the back end, how do you find these fucking people in like these countries? Is that the
I
secret
can't give you all the
sauce?
fucking sauce.
Dude, you got to give sauce here.
Well, I have so there's the places in which the talent is already looking for opportunities,
Okay.
right? Indeed, LinkedIn, what have you. And then I think one thing we've been able to do is because we see patterns in terms of like the roles that we source for, we start to build our own talent pools, even if we don't have a client that needs certain roles at the moment, so that we can fulfill roles more quickly.
Yeah.
And then we have our we're sort of like a hedge against and like being too reliant on LinkedIn, for example, and we can just build our own list, if you will, of people that meet these requirements and are looking for opportunities.
This is funny because you said the word like temp, pretty much like a temp agency for people. Because like we have a temp agency that's like the pick and packers and everything that we hire. Like we'll pay whatever $18, $19 an hour. They'll get paid like 15 and they'll take the $4 in the middle.
Right.
There's this company called Traba that just came out. I don't know if you've heard of it. The same guys who invested in Ramp, like the credit card, invested in Traba. And they pretty much took the temp agency and just like put $100 million behind it and like kind of blowing it up type of thing. I think it's crazy because I was like, literally, I use one called Temps for You.
Yeah.
And they have like a bus where they pick up people and just drop them off at my warehouse every single day. And they give me a piece of paper called and it says Sheep Dudes on it. Not even Ship. They write Sheep Dudes and they write all the people's names on it. It's like a crazy thing. Like we figured this out like whatever 3-4 years ago. It's like a crazy thing. And this guy, all he's doing is just like taking the sheep.
He just arbs
it, but like he's just like putting like a nice like Shopify-esque Stripe look on top of it and calling it Traba. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, this is like bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
it's
like,
not bullshit.
It's not bullshit. Yeah, it's just cleaning it up and marketing it and stuff like that.
Exactly. And a lot of time, sometimes business like they don't want the full-time person.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
It's common. And so again, you could go through all the legwork and run it yourself for a part-time person again, but then it's like you have to do all the legwork yourself and manage them. And then there's like the administrative side of it all.
For sure.
And at a certain point, it's just like easier. Okay, you pay a $3 an hour premium.
Yeah.
And they deal with all the headaches,
stuff,
all the stuff.
Yeah. Like all the insurances and all the payment roll and all that.
So it's just like a convenience fee.
That makes
type
sense.
Of thing.
Yeah. 100%.
But that's why some businesses temp makes sense. Some businesses headhunting makes sense.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
It just depends on their circumstances.
Got you.
Just like, even like brands, some of them make sense to have an in-house team. Some it makes sense to have an agency.
Yeah.
Some make sense.
Does anyone make sense to have an agency? I'm curious of that.
Oh, I think it's probably speed of wanting the results. So like right now, if someone wants to capitalize on Black Friday, you're not going to hire an in-house team in 3 weeks. Like if you hire an agency, they can get onboarded in a week and you can have that.
I hate to trigger
you can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, dude, for me, it's like an agency makes sense for some and doesn't make sense for others.
Yeah.
Right. Usually for like brands that are smaller, like even under 10 mil a year, 15, it makes a lot of sense because they don't have, if you think about staffing those roles internally, like let's just use the email agency as an example. You have someone doing the strategy, someone doing the copy, someone doing the design, someone doing the deployment. That's like 4 full-time people. Usually there's not enough volume in-house at the
You're not making
brand.
enough money to be paying for people.
Or but even if
it's more expensive in-house.
Yeah, it's way more expensive in-house. So let's just think from just a salary standpoint, even if you're using overseas people, let's just say that team is $10K a year, which would be cheap. That's still an agency like even an upmarket one that might cost $10K, but you don't have any of the employment costs that come along with it, the employment taxes and so forth. And so like, I think for most businesses, an agency does make sense. The other thing you get is like the agencies are a lot sharper because they have exposure to multiple clients at one time. Whereas the brand, even if you have an in-house team, they're only exposed to the one client. But again, I think some instances it makes sense, others it doesn't. It just depends.
Hey, what's up, New Money Talks fam? Want to give a quick shout out to our amazing sponsor, OmniSend. Email and SMS marketing is the lifeblood and backbone of every e-commerce brand. It helps you generate more revenue from your current customers, build an amazingly loyal fan base, and even helps you generate user-generated content from your customers. If you're looking for an awesome software to use for email and SMS, OmniSend is your place to be. OmniSend helps e-com brands around the world grow and retain their audience through easy-to-use SMS and email marketing software. They have amazing templates, amazing plugins, and awesome software integrations. And they have award-winning customer support with 24/7 support, even on the free plan. So if you can't afford a plan, the free plan has awesome customer support too. We've been using this software all the way since 2018. Kyle and I have had stores that we use OmniSend, and they've been amazing. So I can only imagine how amazing they'd be 7 years later. If you need an awesome email and SMS tool, OmniSend's your place to be. Click the link in the description to check them out. They're a game changer. They're the place to be. Back to the podcast.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I would say the bigger you are, the more you want to hire in-house.
100%.
Yeah.
But then like even strategically, you farm out certain things.
Yeah.
You know? So I think generally speaking, they're good. But there's a lot of fucking agency bros like Kyle that I'm just playing. There's just like, it's easy to start up. And so a lot of times the market gets shafted because they don't know how to evaluate, is this agency good or not? And then they don't.
Iman Godzi literally said the best way you can make your first like 20, 30 grand is start an agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they don't know how to do the people that are buying services, they don't know what good looks like. And so they oftentimes make the wrong decision. And then they don't find performance. And some of that even happens because like the underlying product or business like isn't fundamentally strong or good either. Right. And it's no matter what agency took
like
the
the
helm.
Shopify store, just, like the brand just sucks.
Let's just say it's just not a good brand or not a good product.
Yeah.
And like they want to, the company isn't like not the most sophisticated. That like, let's just say, for example, it's someone that's passionate about they like socks and they come up with a sock brand.
Yeah.
That like there's other companies that are successful selling socks, but that doesn't mean that this brand or the unit economics are good. So they're sort of set up to fail no matter what. That's not necessarily the fault of the agency.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people don't know how to evaluate, is this agency good or bad? And they don't perform, and then they're like, shit, agencies suck. But it's like, no, it's like just like you just picked the wrong one. The craziest part, you might have seen this too, is people that like go hop from agency to agency, and it's always the agency's fault that it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's the same thing in 3PL.
Like there's one common denominator, dude, and it's not the agency.
Yeah. Like literally, I tell my sales guys, if you talk to a brand, you ask them how many 3PLs have you been to, and they're like, oh, you'll be my like third or fourth one. I'm like, all right, well, we're not going to be.
Why do people change? Why do people go from 3PL to 3PL?
Because like something always messes up. But then it's like, well,
like what?
So I'll tell you a big thing in 3PL world that like it's very hard to like manage is like labels getting stuck in label created. So like pretty much what happens is like guy orders something on like Shopify store. That order gets sent to the 3PL. The 3PL prints out a label, like buys a label from like UPS, whatever, slaps it on the package and gives it to UPS. If UPS doesn't scan that label,
right,
it's like literally it says like label created, just stuck. So then the brand gets a complaint from their customer being like, yo, like you're stuck in label created.
It could very well be on the way. It just didn't get scanned in.
Either it's on the way, UPS could have lost it, like just something could have happened that 3PL has zero control on.
Right.
So then like pretty much like what happens is, the math is the math, right? So you have a brand that does like 1,000 orders a day, right? If that happens to the brand once a day, whatever.
Right.
If you have a brand that does like 4 orders a day and that happens once in the month,
right? It's
like
a lot.
1%, 2% of all my orders are stuck. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, but you have like 100 orders a month.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? So then that's the person who like leaves, goes to another 3PL because someone told him like, oh, don't worry with us. Like, we have the best relationship with the post office. But it's like when you don't, because it's like it's the fucking post office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we'll fix it. So then you buy that, you sit there for 6 months, a year, whatever. The same thing happens again. You're like, oh, you're the worst. Go find somebody else. So you find somebody else. Yeah, we can. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like by the fourth.
It's the same thing with the agency. It's the same shit.
Yeah. So it's like part of my question was like to you when you're running like the agency, what was like the crazy people would be telling you? Because like also it's email marketing with Klaviyo. It's like how crazy how mad could somebody get?
I mean, like, not really. I think like from my experience, like you could give people the best performance
And they're still not happy.
but if like the service isn't great, they'll leave.
But like what's service though?
Just like frequency of communication.
My thing is like, why are you even talking?
No, I don't even mean on the phone. I just mean communicating like.
No, even so like, for example, I hired your one friend, like Lewis, I think his name was Shulman for like the
newsletter thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I'd never talk to these guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I literally pay them. They send me a Slack message.
Yeah,
like,
but you're
reviews
but,
on.
you,
I don't
but
give a
I
fuck.
think I think you're a very like high agency client. Like
an agency would want to have me.
yeah, but also like you have the like you're just farther along.
That's fair.
Most people like even if it's like even if it's a business doing set like $1 million a year.
Yeah,
Usually that's the first time that person's been in that position doing $1 million a year.
that's fair.
And they just don't look at it from like that level of sophistication. Like I hire you, do a job, just do it. So a lot of them, like Kyle, they want to communicate all the time. They want the updates. And so like just a big part of running an agency, like I think what you do at with the fulfillments, it's just like different because it's more of a commoditized
That's fair.
thing that you're providing. Whereas with the agency, like there is definitely a service element involved. And so from my experience, I believe that service beats performance. So if you can give people the best performance, suck your dick performance, right? But if the service sucks, like the account manager doesn't communicate frequently, like meaning, let's just say a couple weeks without any updates for approvals or performance updates, status updates. And then keep in mind, the same client's getting ads served from competing agencies.
All day.
They take a sales call. Then on the sales call, they're like, oh, here's this one little thing they're not doing, which is inconsequential in the scheme of it, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, this segment definition isn't right, which doesn't really matter. And then like, because the service isn't good.
Definition?
What's up?
What the hell's a segment definition?
Like how you slice up the audience of who's going to get a campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they bounce. And it's
Yeah.
not but like I've had that happen to me at the agency before where we took clients, they were ripping 50% a month from email, and they're just the service slacked and they dipped.
Because like someone just
so I think service is more important than performance. I think mediocre performance, you can keep a client if you serve them, communicate well.
Interesting.
I think we've retained more clients that we had underperformance on, but amazing service, than we have clients we've had amazing performance and that we undercommunicated with. Yeah, which is insane. It's like if we're making you like 20 times what you're paying us, like, and we send you a message, 2 messages a week checking in, then you should keep us around. That
100%.
makes mathematical sense.
I'm going to give these guys a massive shout out right now, but it's honestly crazy. So like we use Slack for all customer service and it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Like we have 80, 90 Slacks going at the same time. We found this software called Pylon. I don't know if you ever heard of Pylon. They just raised like 20 million from Andreessen Horowitz. What they do is they're pretty much like, you can connect every Slack to Pylon and it creates like a Zendesk in the back.
Oh, that's cool.
So like all the clients can message you on Slack or whatever. And on the back end, you just see like tickets coming in.
Yeah.
And it's,
cool.
we plugged this in like maybe a month ago, game changer.
Yeah.
Like insane. Cause now you have like analytics, you have like SLA times.
Yeah. That's fucking
mass
sick.
messages. And it's
I need to
cheap.
peep
It's like,
that, dude.
yeah, I'll send it to you. Honestly, I'll send it to you.
Send me your
like,
affiliate link.
I'm gonna send you my affiliate link. It's like, so like, this is funny. Like we do this a lot sometimes. So like, honestly, huge hack for people. If you want to get free shit, just like get people customers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
we met the founders of Delegation at Pylon. We're like, yo, I'll get you like 3-4 customers. Just like comp my shit. It's like $100 per seat, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's legit because like now I can do like SLAs for my customer service reps. I can do like CSAT scores. So like you send like a survey in Slack and be like, hey, rate that experience like 1 to 10 or whatever. So now I can go back to my rep and be like, yo, you suck this month.
Yeah.
You know what
Objectively
I mean, it's so dope. Like
Objectively speaking.
even think about agency, like, historically clients are like, we would communicate via email and like for updates.
Oh, so you can connect email in too. You can connect everything.
Dude, it's so dope.
stupid,
but like, even with Slack, people will ask like, yo, can we do Slack? Can we do Slack? I'm like, yeah. And then you do it. And then it's like, oh, it creates a whole nother host of problems.
Uh-huh.
And then like things get lost in replies and stuff, So I'm like,
no, Pylon, dude,
that sounds sick.
It's legit. I'll hook you up with it too. Another thing too, because like they made us money in the first month. This was like crazy. Actually, in the first week. So like we bill for special projects. Like when we do special work for people, like like special kitting or put a bow on shit or tape, like just random stuff, right? And sometimes like customer service, they'll get asked a question. They'll tell the manager at the warehouse, hey, can you do it? And like we wouldn't like put it on Notion or like keep track of it. Like we would, but like sometimes we could get missing the thing, right? So we have this new tag that like anytime a word of like project or like special or anything just pops up in Slack, it auto puts it into like a category. So now every week they just have a meeting. That meeting makes me like $2,000.
That's sick.
And I was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is just like game
What's it called?
changer. Pylon. It's called Pylon.
Send it.
Pylon. I'll
Send the
we'll
link,
link
dude.
it. I'll send it. Like I want them to sponsor this fucking thing because like legit, I
Yeah.
haven't found a software that I'm like, oh damn, this actually solved the big. Because
Yeah.
like the thing was this always, I wanted Slack because brands want Slack. Like
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
that you said, brands want Slack. My partner Joe didn't want Slack because it's just a fucking clusterfuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's 100 channels. Yeah.
100 channels. You want Zendesk, right? And this thing just like did
Well, like
both.
it solves one problem but creates 10 more.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, because now you have like full conversations with threads of like 70
Threads.
messages.
And it's like
stuff.
always accessible with the expectation, reply instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, how do you like fix that? And Pylon fucking
Yeah.
fix
All right,
it.
dude, send it.
I'll put
Yeah,
it
because
on,
I started
yeah.
like, I told you guys I started running it like agency again, like boutique.
Yeah.
You know, just being very
And
selective.
everyone has a Slack now, probably, right?
Well, they want it, but I'm like reluctant to do it because
got
I'm
you.
now going to run it up.
I
with
got
Pylon.
you. I got you.
Yeah. I just do one channel per client. Yeah.
Yeah. So another hack. I don't like paying for Slack. I hope Slack doesn't fucking listen to
Mhm.
this. So we make one workspace per client.
Yeah.
Like a
We
free
used to do that,
workspace.
but that's like so much more work.
Dude, I'll just pay for it, dude.
Dude, but then
Yeah.
no, dude, but then you end. I could be paying like few grand a month in Slack.
Yeah.
Well, no, well, you only need it for your head count, right?
No, for their head count too, because like
No,
we'd all
you
be in
do,
the
yeah.
same.
No, Slack Connect.
I don't know how it works.
That's if they have a workspace.
Yeah.
Not everyone has a workspace.
Well, they got to get their work. Oh, get your workspace.
Yeah,
in
so
there.
like literally, I have all free Slacks. It is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah,
My
fuck
reps hate the live.
It's like $8 a head, and then per paying member you get 5
You know what you need to do?
multi-channel
You know
guests.
what was that dude you told me? The shipping dude, the plug fool.
oh shit plug.
Got to have him hit up Slack for you, dude,
Hit up Slack for me
to negotiate a
To
rate.
negotiate rates. Yeah, Nick, hit up Slack for me.
You know what's funny? I have a team member from like Pakistan, and he was like, "Yo, I can get you this custom link. It's like half the price. Like I'll sign up for the account under Pakistan, and then
Yeah.
I'll just transfer all the logins and all that stuff to you."
Dude,
I was like, "That's pretty sick. It's like $2 a head instead of $8 a head."
Oh, because Pakistan's fucking.
dude, what if you?
Yeah.
What if when you go to Slack, you go with the VPN from Pakistan? Maybe that'll do.
it's a
the
good
same
question.
That's smart.
Somebody try it. Let us
Damn.
know.
About to get that Pakistani.
Dude, Phil's always thinking of
About to get that,
Yeah.
that Pakistani VPN, dude.
Oh my god. One thing I want to talk to you about that I brought up before, and I got your permission on, is the ads you used to fucking
Yeah.
run for Tetra.
Yeah.
Like, if you could tell us, what did CPAs look like? I'm just curious.
From like a lead standpoint or a client.
Both,
So, like, honestly, dude, I never even cared about what they were
really.
because all I looked at was CAC to LTV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if we paid, I didn't care if it was like for a lead, if we were paying $20 or $80. Doesn't matter. As long as I like the sales metrics downstream were strong. And like at the end of the day, if the LTV of a client was, let's just say 25K, and does it matter if it cost me 1,000 or 500 to get the client? Not
That's
really.
fair.
When most people, they're like, oh shit, this ad account's gonna, or excuse me, the CPA for this ad is up marginally, and therefore, and they turn off the ads because most people don't have the chutzpah to
The
run it.
chutzpah.
They don't have the
Yeah.
balls to run it.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that new podcast called The Big Shot?
No.
Harley Finkelstein started it. It's all about like Jewish American like billionaires, and like they always use the word chutzpah.
Yeah, it means
So I
like
love that
balls.
word. Yeah, it means like
Cojones.
balls. Yeah.
But a lot of times people are just very reactive, and so I'm just like, all right, it's a nominal amount of bread. Let's just keep. Just
How long? Like,
keep
how
it
much did
moving.
you have to spend until you like cracked something that actually worked?
I'd probably spent like 20 G's on Meta until it finally started. Like the ad started to
Interesting.
work, the funnel started to work,
Wow.
and the closes came.
Really?
It was very uncomfortable.
How long did
Yeah.
that take? Like, how
I
fast?
think
did you
that probably
spend
took
the
like
20K?
3 or 4 months.
Okay, got you.
And I had never run ads before at the time.
So it was uncomfortable, like you were saying.
Yeah, dude. But I was like, dude, I just like stick it through.
And how'd you know your videos were good? Or you,
I didn't.
You did it. You just.
I
trying
would
new
just
shit.
a lot of people like they get like very hung up on like the nuances of it, like being good. Like I don't care. The market will determine if it's good. Well, all I can control is like making more creatives.
Mm.
So like my
Yeah.
buddy Max and I, we did like an event. Wait, I think you and I texted. You didn't roll through. You shined me, but we did an event a couple months ago in the city, and like it's so interesting because he had an agency too. He was doing more meta ads, whereas I was more email. But we looked at our funnels side by side because it's the same funnel, fundamentally, and like he just had like one creative that clicked for him, and he ran that creative for like literally 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a static. And not say he didn't test, but like my testing cadence was much more aggressive. So I would test like 2 new creatives a week. So my whole thesis was like, I just need to find the next home run. The more ads I run, the sooner I'll find the home run.
Yeah.
And there's really like, of all the ads that I ran, which is probably like, I don't know, dude, 150 different creatives over the years, there's 2 that drove 75%.
Is it the one where we're wearing the crown and everything?
That's one.
No? Is it
Wow.
really?
Yeah. That and the first ad that really like changed the game. This is like back in 2019 or early 2020. It was like inside the account. So I audited a Klaviyo account in the ad itself. No one had done that at the time. And then it was just like calls galore. And I ran that ad for 18 months. That
It
created.
was like a long ad.
It was like 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
And you were like screen sharing type of thing?
Yeah, I was just talking like, this is good, this is bad. Just like free form. And 18 months I ran that thing, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
And it worked.
it worked. And I would still test against it. But, you know, at the time, that was like the first ad that really worked my, I would say, knowledge of running media. Back then I was still pretty noob. So I wasn't that aggressive with testing and shit.
Yeah.
But I rode that one all the way to the bank.
Really?
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I'm curious too, like, were you getting like shitty brands off of Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's only so many good brands.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, again, a lot of people, I think, get like, oh, they only want like the top tier names. But everyone's money is green.
Have you heard of Hawk Media?
Yeah.
How did someone like that get so big? I'm very
I just think they were
curious.
early.
Just early.
They just
okay.
started early.
Yeah.
And then they had some marquee clients, got big retainers. And then the psychology of this shit is weird because if you have a couple of these marquee clients, then everyone thinks you're good just because you have
Yeah.
them.
Interesting.
You just need like 2-3 big logos.
Yeah. And that's not even to say like, who knows how long those clients even stay there? Was it a
Right.
project that was 60 days? Like no one knows.
You just have the logo on
Yeah.
the
And then
site.
it sort of attracts more people like them. And then because you got, especially for the bigger brands, like the people at those that work there, it's like a lot of like, they obviously want to perform, but it's also like, okay, I want to make a decision not to get fired.
That's fair.
So they're going to hire, you know, some jabroni that is saying, you know, we'll guarantee your ads work or we'll buy you a house. They're not hiring that. They're not
Yeah,
hiring
yeah.
that agency.
Yeah, they're not hiring that agency.
You know?
That's what he's doing.
Hell no. No, we did. You know, you go through Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers and you come up with all these different ideas.
But
And then at the end of the day, you're like, it's, you know, everyone's pitching the same shit.
yeah, 100%. It's like, it just doesn't work. But yeah, I still see those to this day.
Yeah.
Dude, it's over.
Now,
It's over.
now we cringe at it.
Yeah.
But like, they're probably working.
And also, you can't really guarantee results. There's so many things
Yeah.
that factor in, whether you're running meta ads or email or whatever. Like, again, the product could just be like ass
Yeah.
and not good. No matter what you do, it's just not going to turn a corner.
That makes sense. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry, one of my clients just sent me American flags. Shout out Klaus. Dude, so this kid, by the way, he's a kid.
Uh-huh.
Kyle connected with him right when we started a long time ago. Hop on a call with his super deep voice. And I'm like, oh man, like how old are you? Like 30? He goes, nah, dude, I'm 17. I'm like, get the
Where does he live?
fuck out of here in
California?
like the Bay Area.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's he sell?
I don't want to say that
All
in
right.
here.
Simple
but like,
products.
It's a simple product, very, very high ticket, like 3K
I like that.
type of
I
thing.
love simple high ticket.
Super high ticket. He sells like 200 of them a month. Like, kid's a tank.
Tell me after.
I'll
we
tell
wrap.
you after. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Stupid.
Yeah, I just like love stuff. It's like, dude, there's so many ways to make bread.
And listen to this. This kid's so smart. So like he took all that money rather than going and buying bullshit. He bought, I think he owns like 20 single family houses in Alabama right now.
Smart.
So he started
Section
buying
8s
like all
or-
the Section 8 stuff. He
Yeah.
puts like 20K down, and another 20K to rehab them, and like Section 8 vouchers to share to them.
Klaus, he knows what's good.
Klaus knows what's
He's a
up.
beast.
And he listens, he watches some of the
What up,
Yeah.
Klaus?
Yeah, Klaus is a homie. If Klaus, if you need email, Phil's your guy too. What else can we chat about? Yeah. This is fun. Kyle, what do you got?
What do you got, bro? You're being all shy over there.
Dude, I'm just, my brain's just, I worked like 18, 19 hours yesterday. I'm just like tired. A lot of calls. Tuesdays are like my coaching
Call
days.
day?
Yep. Tuesdays.
Yeah,
are
calls
just
take a
call
lot of
days.
energy, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like good when the day starts. Like, all right, W the first couple. Then at the end, it's like, fuck.
Like, yeah, exactly. I'll have energy like halfway through, 3/4 way through. And then for the last couple, I'm just like, I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Don't
I'm
you
just
find
tired?
Don't you find that like we do these calls, you say the same thing over and over?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, for the coaching, at least in the consulting, like, I put together trainings. So I found myself saying the same things over and over. You put in a training and a
Yeah.
pre-recorded training, and you're just like, if like that question, I'm like, go watch this. It'll tackle that. Let's talk about the things that you can't find on YouTube or things like that. Repetitive conversations.
The patterns I see a lot too, dude, is like they just ask. It's just like, I don't know, just like basic questions. Like,
Yeah.
if we weren't on the phone, you find an answer in 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm essentially your help page for
Yeah.
whatever the thing is, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, so that's where it becomes just like, I don't know, not the most fulfilling because it's just like, let's
Yeah.
talk about like real shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's where like I think most people that do any type of consulting or like let's say you're like one thing that I pivoted from the agency model was we were always withholding information from the client.
Mm-hmm.
And because we thought, oh, like we have the secret sauce, we have the team members, we have the systems. We don't want them to go and hire like an in-house team and do it all themselves. And then eventually we were just like, that's stupid. Like, why are we holding this in? If we shared more information on how we're doing it, they'll understand maybe some of the intricacies, or they can have a team member that's complementing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we started more so like just sharing our SOPs. We're like, here you go. This is exactly what we're doing. Here's things that you can maybe help us do this process better.
At the end of the day, if it were easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you give the SOPs, it's still hard.
Yeah.
To run it, you know?
You still don't have the people. You still don't have the 5-6 years we've been doing
Exactly.
these exact systems. And it's going to take you another, probably even with the SOPs, it's going to take you a year or two to put the team together, put the systems in place. But you know, we stopped withholding that information and we just started sharing it. And so it's the same thing with the coaching. I put that into a training and it's like, if you go through all these things before we even jump on our first call, you won't ask the repetitive questions because you'll have the answers to those here. And it'll only be the custom questions to your specific situation.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm curious, do you do anything other than like agency shit? Like you invest in stocks? Do you have like real estate, this type of shit?
Bitcoin only.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
and real estate.
Why'd you do Bitcoin? I'm curious.
I just thought, I was like, back when it was started, I was like, I wanted to mine.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But then at the time, I don't know if this is still true because I'm not really read on it anymore. Like there was such demand for the machines to mine, but it took a long time to get them. And then by the time you took delivery, they were like old.
Okay.
Right. And so like, then I was just at the time, again, doing the math of where Bitcoin was at the time.
Like how much
and
was it?
This was like $50, dude.
Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah. And then I was like doing the math and it was hard to like, what's the expected growth rate? Then I was like doing the math of like what it would cost to run the machines and how much crypto you would get. And I never thought it would be at the time what it is right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, this doesn't math. The machines will be slow by the time I get them. It's like going to cost more from an electricity standpoint than it's worth. Like,
Yeah.
and I was also broke at the time, bro. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. But I bought a few coins.
How'd you find it? Or were you
My boy was
buying
my
weed or
roommate, the
something
kid, my
online?
homie I grew up with was like super into it.
Really?
Yeah, he was like really nerdy about computers and stuff. Like he would build custom fucking
PC.
Alienwares to play Counter-Strike and shit.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And so I was swimming in his wake on it. He was
Gotcha.
driving.
Yeah. Interesting. So did you buy it $50?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You still have those?
Yeah, forever, dude.
Really?
Yeah, hold on.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. So now I'm just like, damn, dude, it's just wild.
Oh,
But I didn't
shit.
buy as much on the way up as I wish I would have. You know what I mean? But anyways, I got some.
So you do crypto. You said you do
Just Bitcoin. I don't fuck with the alts, dude.
just Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What about, you said real estate too?
Yeah, real estate. I
Yeah,
like a couple commercial buildings.
How'd
and
you get
stuff.
into that?
I've always liked it. I've always been into it. Like, it's just like passive to a degree.
To a degree.
And like,
Is it like in New York type of thing too?
Philly
Oh, in
or
Philly.
in Pennsylvania, not
So
Philly,
it's like
not Philly proper, but
Who like manages all of them and stuff?
management company. So like, I always come in as like a limited partner. So I'm not like,
Okay.
I'm not sourcing. I hired a coach and stuff to like help me source deals, and I had someone to like bounce ideas off of, like you have it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, dude, I was doing this. I'm like, dude, this sucks, bro.
It does suck.
Like looking for deals all the time, calling these brokers that are like have half a brain and they're like not incentivized to like do a deal.
Yeah.
And like anyone and their mom could just like be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, it's just like, I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do this. I was like, yo, let me just ride in on your deals. And so that's what I started to do.
Got you. Interesting. How's that been so far?
So far, so good. But you know, it's long. It's a long
Yeah, it's
play.
long
So
stuff.
like cash flow is good, but it's not like big money or anything yet.
Yeah.
But it's still dope.
Makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
but crypto, like nothing beats Bitcoin gains.
Yeah, obviously. That's crazy.
Yeah.
$50.
Dude, all time high like last night, 74.
Yeah, I know. It went up like
Shit,
3-4K like
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the win.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you're going back into the agency world we were talking about.
Well, just
before.
like when I do, it's like I'm good at it.
Yeah.
See the matrix, and like there's perpetual demand, and so on. But on the one hand, it's like, again, I told you before, like I have a disease. My disease is like businesses and offers and stuff, and so it's just like opportunity volume comes my way, and I was just like, I might as well, you know. And so now I'm just like, all right, have a like small client list, small team.
It's all e-commerce.
No,
No.
like I'll do more than just email now. So we'll do email, we'll run Meta and some Google PPC. It really just depends. And then, but I'm just like selective on like the client because I'm not trying to run it up like before and have 150 clients. But if I have like a small shop, it's not even about charging the most bread. It's just like, is the product dope or whatever they sell dope? And like, is it pretty much given what they sell, it's pretty much almost impossible to fail. Like, let's run it.
Makes sense.
So I have like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 clients. I don't really want to run a big shop, but just like very cash flow efficient with a small team, like to run it. So it's like a pretty tight group. And then that way I can still have fun with it. Because where it got sort of out of hand was as it got bigger, it was just like, wasn't the same.
So what got out of hand?
Just like, you have a big team, then there's human element of the team, right? Everyone's like, I don't know, requests or idiosyncrasies, and everyone wants to get paid more, go on vacation, or isn't feeling good. And then it's just like more problems at scale, which like that's where the money is. But it's also just like, it's hard business, and it's really hard to make like super bread.
Yeah.
And so at this moment right now, like this might maybe 6 months again, we talk, I'm like, fuck it, dude, I'm going to run it.
Yeah.
Again, but for right now, 10, 15, 20 clients, small team, good cash flow. But that allows me to like do more real estate or other stuff that isn't an agency.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do you think, sorry,
What's that?
No, you're good.
No, I was going to say, do you think there's like a bubble in this like Shopify world type of thing? Like
What?
all these like agency, 3PL stuff just kind of like take a shit at some point?
I don't think so. I mean, like, I love eCom because it's like so easy to pull the levers, but I also don't like it because the LTV is low and most products don't succeed. So like even from like from a marketing standpoint, like I could just, I can close my eyes. I just know eCom and could just do it. But I'm more drawn to the stuff that's like info offers, digital products, even just other services that like historically, they don't look at marketing as from a performance standpoint like we do in eCom. And so just applying the stuff that I know into these other industries. And at the end of the day, it's just traffic funnels
So like
and retention,
recruiting type of thing.
for example. Bookkeeping. Even just like I don't like even local, which I don't have any like local clients, but still it's just like there's still supply and demand.
Yeah.
And it's just like how do you funnel it to, how do you drive traffic to your page, capture the leads, and follow up?
Bookkeeping is great business. There was this one guy who he's like an e-commerce accountant. He has like 3-4 clients. And I was like, yo, you want to start like a bookkeeping thing on the side? Like I'll just start funneling you.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, this shit sucks. That's what he told me.
But the grass is always greener too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course.
But I just like, again, all these businesses, it's just like, fundamentally it's driving traffic, running funnels, like pages, getting opt-ins, driving them to some conversion event on the phone, in a shopping cart, doesn't matter, with emails. And it's just like, I don't care what it is. So like, I like eCom is easy. So I do it because I've been doing it for so long, but I'm more like intrigued by the other, like the offers in other industries.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what were you doing before the first email agency?
I was running, I would have the agency on the side, but like freelance. And then I was like, I would say number 3 hire at this software company. And we were a product that powered the rewards engine for loyalty programs. So if like you go to any bank or any airline and they have their rewards catalog that has like gift cards, music, travel, whatever merchandise, we would essentially, like, the thesis for this company was all of these Fortune 500s that have loyalty programs, they have to integrate with a bunch of rewards providers independently, but they're not in the business of maintaining these integrations. And so therefore there's always integrations that are down, i.e. like if you're in Delta's program, not Delta, not shitting on Delta, but if you're in their program and you go to their catalog, like you can't redeem gift cards because the integration's broken.
Interesting.
Okay. So we made an integration layer, kind of like what Segment is for eCom, like as a CDP, where we would do deals with all of the rewards providers, integrate them into our platform, and then we would give the loyalty, like the companies, the programs, one feed to get all their rewards, as opposed to having to manage 20 or 30 feeds themselves. And it's like, sounds boring, and it is, but like the rewards industry is like, it's mad big, dude. It's like 10 bill a year or some shit like that.
So this was your first company then?
I didn't own this company. I was
I'm saying Toucher was the first one you ever started yourself.
Well, I did like entrepreneurial stuff as a kid, but not like that was the first like big one.
Oh, really?
Like, what was your first like email marketing endeavor? Like, had you done one for your brand or for?
So I started selling. When I was in college, I started selling T-shirts that coincided with the releases of Nike Dunks on message boards. And at the time, there was no meta ads. All you could do was, PPC was early days, and have a list. So I just got good at building a list and sending emails. That's really how it started.
Interesting.
And then everything, like I had that what I'll call is like a costume jewelry brand where we took the Cartier love bracelets, made them out of rubber. And that was still very like Web 1.0. Meta ads, I don't even know if they were around at the time, or if it was very early. But again, same thing, organic, build a list and just send emails to the list. And we would do, the margins on those were insane. It was like 1,000% margin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we would clip those for like maybe a penny or 2-3 cents, and we'd sell them for $35.
Jeez.
It was nuts.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was sick.
What were those exactly?
The Cartier love bracelets, with the screw on them.
Like plastic?
Rubber, silicone.
The silicone ones.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys just like kind of made fake versions of it.
In a sense, they were metal or whatever. It was very distinctly not them.
Interesting.
Because it was rubber.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was dope.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, and then dude, that was wild. So when we started, they own the trademark for the flathead screwdriver on a bracelet.
Okay.
And we were doing that, and so then they sent us a cease and desist for that mark. So we switched it to a Phillips head screwdriver.
That's funny.
Which they don't own. And they didn't sell as well as it did before, obviously. And we ran that up for a while. Then we came out with a nail bracelet also, but a rubber one.
Yeah.
And then
where'd you make all this stuff in China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had and then they sent us a C&D for the nail, but they did that from like all these European countries. And then I read into it. I'm like, dude, they don't own the mark. They don't own the mark here. And they sent us a cease and desist from all these countries we never sold one unit in.
Oh,
so I wrote them back. And I was like, dude, this is like, get the fuck out of here. And they didn't say shit back. And then they got like, they have a bajillion lawyers. I'm just a mouth breather in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And,
I'm just a mouth breather in Brooklyn.
And then what they did, dude, they got mad smart. They sent Shopify a cease and desist on Black Friday. And Shopify just took everything down. Obviously, they didn't even hit us up or whatever. But then they sent the same cease and desist that they sent us before about the products that we never even sold that product in the country. So Shopify didn't even look at it, bro. They just like arbitrarily took everything down.
There was a long time where they just didn't care what came in. They would just accept those. What are they called? When you get the product page saying, not even cease and desist. DMCA claim.
DMCA, yeah.
Where anything you said, they would just trust you and they'd be like, yeah, we'll take it down.
Yeah.
And then like and then you counter DMCA. And in the dropshipping world, there was probably a 2-year period where this is just such a big thing where you would DMCA him, he would DMCA you back.
Yeah.
And you would just keep making these duplicate product pages. And like Shopify didn't know what's what. They just kept on like accepting them until eventually someone had like a Google Doc that had a timestamp. That's what we do now. We basically put the description to Google Doc and like the content and stuff and say like, we give it to the Shopify rep and say, you can literally like go back in the history and you can see when we created this to prove that we actually started.
Yeah. It was wild, dude. So then after that, I was just like, fuck this. I'm like tired of playing. We're going to lose no matter what.
Yeah.
With these fools. So then, oddly enough, we were planning on shutting it down after that holiday season anyways. So it made a little less bread than we would have otherwise, but it's still a wild story. I had the cease and desist framed. It's pretty dope.
That's pretty sick.
It's on like letterhead and shit.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
So common denominator is you did your own email marketing for your own company before you started an agency.
Yeah.
What a wild concept.
Crazy, right?
So many people just fucking run an ad agency, never ran an ad before in their lives.
Yeah, even now that I'm doing ad stuff, it's just like, a lot of people have never spent their own money on ads, but are happy to spend other people's.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous as shit.
Yeah,
it's all Iman Ghazi's fault. All little kids are like 18 years old. They're just like, oh, I should start an agency.
But, on the bright side, he spawned like, a ton of kids to be entrepreneurial that maybe wouldn't have otherwise.
100%.
It's like Ty Lopez.
Yeah, Ty Lopez was the real
OG. That's like from my generation.
Yeah, literally your generation. Yeah, the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the garage. Yeah, the Lambos.
Yeah, dude, but I don't know. YOLO.
Sick. So in 6 months, where are we going to see you then?
I don't know. Maybe I come back, dude, and do number 3.
We'll do number 3.
Maybe you guys come up to the woods next time.
Yo, come to the woods, to Poughkeepsie. We'll go see your grandma.
Yeah, she's right there. I'm done.
Right there. That's funny. No, I think this was sick.
Are we on time? What time is it, Doug?
It's 12:11. What time do you have to get out of here?
I mean,
I'm good. We're good to finish up too. I think we ran through some good stuff. Actually, I'm gonna throw a little
talk to me
tweezer in here. We have obviously an amazing sponsor to this video.
Yeah.
But in your humble opinion, because you've done so much email, what's the best email platform to use? Out of curiosity.
Do you want me to?
like obviously like separate from like our sponsor. Of this
Separate?
video.
No. We can.
I don't want to shit on your sponsor.
They're
But
not gonna
No,
watch
no.
it. I'm curious to what you think.
Well, so in my opinion, I think those two big players,
Yeah.
Omnisend and the other one.
Yeah.
I think that.
No, I don't even know if Omnisense is that good though. Like, what do you? I want to hear what you think.
Go
You can
for
say
it.
I mean,
whatever
all
you
these
want.
dude, straight up, all these products are the fucking same.
Okay.
Some just have little nuances that are different, features that are different than the other ones.
Okay.
Right? Like Omnisense a good product, but if you have like, it's not. Klaviyo was built from eCom from day one, grassroots. So it's, in my opinion, the best product if you have an eCom store. That's not to say you can't use Omnisend for eCom, but if you're a bigger business and really running email like you should, you're not choosing Omnisend. You're choosing Klaviyo. That's not to say there's not businesses that Omnisend works for. There
What about
are.
the SendLane type of stuff?
SendLane's cool. But again, like I don't know that product as intimately as I do Klaviyo because I haven't spent as much time in it.
Yeah.
So I can't comment. But it's, again, fundamentally, it does what it's supposed to do. There are certain features that it has that even Klaviyo doesn't have. And that's just the trade-off in SaaS, no matter what SaaS
Yeah.
you use. And so like, is Omnisend a good product? 100%.
Yeah.
Is it the product I would choose if I was running it up on my own store? No.
I have another question because you know email a lot too. What do you think about all these like AI, like Lemlist, instantly, all this
Yeah,
type
that's
of
more like
crap,
cold
too?
outreach shit though.
I know it is, but also it's like email as well too. Like, are they all the same tools? Like,
Virtually. I like,
is this even like? It's just email marketing, right?
well, no, I would say like a lot of people get it twisted. Like in my opinion, cold outreach, even though you're communicating in the modality of email, it's not email marketing with an opted-in list for people that you're driving traffic to. People are opting into the list on a pop-up or a landing page, and that list is hosted by MailChimp or Omnisend or Klaviyo or SendLane or ActiveCampaign or Drip or any of those. Like those are generally speaking more like opted-in audiences, and
I
you're
see.
doing more sort of like traditional email marketing.
They've heard of you before.
Yeah. Or even Beehive with the newsletter stuff. Like people
Yeah.
are opting into that list, whereas Lemlist and some of those other tools that you mentioned, those are like for cold email and mostly or overwhelmingly so like B2B sales where you don't have to have the can spam shit you don't really have to be, they don't have to be opted in. So it's like the modality that you're using is the same, but what you're using it for and how you use it is entirely different.
Yeah.
And people like get the terms twisted. So I don't know, as being a fucking...
Because they all have like warming up the domains and like,
Yeah, but that's all
rotating
all
this
cold stuff.
bullshit. Yeah, it's all
know?
cold stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
What else you got from me, bro?
That's all I had. I just wanted to hear what you would say to that.
What are you up to like personally these days? Like outside of business, like you
just like hang out with your
you've
kids.
experienced an exit.
Yeah,
you're looking-
just like just being a
You're a
dad, dude.
person.
yeah.
You're a real
Just like
person.
chill. I love to work. So like my wife fucking hates it. But I'm like, if I'm at home and the computer's there, like it's like saying come to me, And so, but like I work from home also. But like it's just dad life, dude. Like it's weird. Like it's just different once there's kids, and it's hard to describe. But it's like once you're on the other side, once the kids are there, then you see how it's different. But it's just like my kids are 5 and 2, and they'll never be 5 and 2 again. And pretty soon, fast forward 5 years, they won't want to be chilling with their dad.
Yeah.
So it's just like I have less free time every day to like work or even just like chill. I don't even know what chilling is anymore. But it's like it's only temporary. But it's like it's wild, dude. Like in the morning, I'll wake up, I'll work out, and then the kids wake up at like 6:30, get ready for school, drop them at school. I finally get to start work at like 9:30, and then I wrap at like 4:30 because they get home from school. Then it's like I call it daddy duty, but they like want to chill or play and do dinner and all that stuff. So like, yeah, it's like 9 to 4, which is like the average work day. But before, with pre-kids, dude, I run it like 16, 17 hours a day, no problem.
Yeah.
So it's now I just have to be like very thoughtful about what I do during that time to make
You
it
can't mess around during that time. Like,
there's
you can't go on YouTube.
no jerking off during business hours.
Yeah, like actually.
No, there's no time. So it's just different, dude.
Yeah.
Are you big on? I see you post on Twitter, but they're all like canned posts on Twitter. Like, do you like Twitter at all or not?
I love
really?
Twitter.
You do love Twitter.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
haven't
post
been-
like
I haven't-
long shit on Twitter.
I haven't been as active
No?
as I was before, but I do love it.
Really? Yeah.
Like because whenever I'm on that platform, like I learn shit. Whereas like if I go on TikTok or IG, it's like I'm fucking doom scrolling and it's not good for you. It's like literally crack, dude. But on
Yeah.
Twitter, like I'll be scared to open it because I'm like, damn, do I want to learn some shit?
So
right
you
now?
do you write all your own tweets and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, so you literally sit there and just be typing.
I've had
shit
people
out.
write for me before.
Yeah.
But now I write my own stuff.
Damn.
That's I've heard most people who have tried the ghostwriting route, all of them said like it didn't work the way they thought it would, and that they had to come back to writing.
I disagree.
Themselves.
It worked for me.
Yeah.
I think again, most people they stop doing stuff before they can benefit from it, or like their offer is ass, And so the opportunity volume that they got from doing it, they couldn't close, you know? But like when I started, I had a writer, and well, some people, like, it's frowned upon by some people, but I don't know, in my opinion, like, Drake has a writer, why can't I? You know,
Like, you're like Wiz of eCom, that guy.
he didn't write for me, but he
does the writing.
Yeah, he does some
like
writing for folks, people that we both know.
Legit, yeah.
But again, it's just like, again, reason I started was I kept getting like ad restrictions on Meta, and I was like, this is hurting the business, and so I need a hedge against the paid on Meta. And I tried YouTube, but I couldn't figure it out. So I was like, I'll hire someone to write for me. If I can get 2 clients in the first 2 months, I'll keep going. And I got 4 clients in the first month, and then I would just consistently get 2-3 clients a month from it. And so just like, I just looked at it as another channel.
You think it still works?
Yeah.
Like, even for me, if I try doing that, you think it'll work?
Uh-huh.
My thing, someone would ask me if I should do that, and I was like, I still want to be famous. Like, I don't want to be like D2C famous.
Well, that's the thing.
D2C famous isn't even famous. It's like 1,000 people know you.
Of course, but I also don't want that.
Yeah, me either. And like, even so, like, once my ads started to like work on Facebook is when I put my face in them.
Yeah.
I had always been reluctant to do it before. And even with, I don't care to be famous either.
Sure, yeah, like,
but it's
fake
just like,
famous,
you know, again, what are you willing to, the way that I rationalize it is like, what am I willing to do that most people aren't willing to do to find success? And that's producing content and distributing it consistently is something that like just most people won't do.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? People make fun of me or whatever.
So you have a good writer for Twitter.
I had.
You have to connect me.
I'm happy to.
They still do their thing?
Yeah.
Got you.
100%. But it's just like most people don't have the balls to stick with anything long enough. So it's like they'll run it with a ghostwriter for, let's just say, 2 months. They don't get a client.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it's a ghostwriter. It's like, no, it's probably you.
Yeah.
Probably it's not them. Maybe, but.
Why'd you never go like the hardcore like sales route?
What do you mean?
Like outbound sales type of thing.
I did it. I had guys that ran cold for me, but it would always be hot and cold.
Okay.
Like sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. And I just never had that much success with it. And I think also feel like it's like the sort of like short-sighted, cheap way to do it.
Interesting.
Because, you know, if you're just starting, you have no bread. It's a very cost-effective way. But once you cross a certain level, it's just like, I think from a brand standpoint, at a certain point, it's just like more detrimental than helpful because you're blowing these people up.
Yeah.
And if they don't want it, you know, people get pissed off about it. And I would rather allocate those resources to either organic content or paid and speak to people that are in the pocket to buy, as opposed to like hoping that I thread the needle perfectly with someone's subconscious that in that moment when they read my email or 2 days before, they're like, I have this pain and I need help, you know?
Yeah.
So it can work and it does work for people. I'm just like, I'd rather do it. For me, I'd like to do it a different way.
Makes sense. Yeah, I only ask I've only done.
And it's hard to manufacture like a consistent outcome.
No, for sure.
That like with Meta, I knew because I had it all dialed that, you know, if I spend, it'll cost me anywhere from $1,000, $1,500, maybe $2,000 sometimes to get a client. So that's just a function of how much money I'm spending every month. Whereas cold, some months it'll rip.
Oh, so if you spend $20,000 a month, you're gonna get 10 clients.
Exactly. Some months it'll rip on cold, some months it won't. But the same things are being done the months that it's not working as when it is.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just hard to plan.
Makes sense. Got you.
As the best,
dude. And everyone's scared to run it. Like, I did.
I'm scared. Like,
why?
I don't know.
What's the worst that can happen? You murder a little bread,
fucking
dude.
money.
Yeah, but like you have plenty of it. It's a little bit for a test, dude.
That's fair.
And you know enough people to know to be able to like, yo, is this working? Is this not working?
No, it's true.
I did this like this like little cohort thing for I would say a lot of agency owners to like how to like run like do what I did to get clients. And most agency owners are just like scared to death of running ads.
Yeah.
They're like, it's so interesting, dude. Like they spend all this time, energy marketing their clients, but they never market themselves. It's a very, it's like just a weird connection.
Dude, I put it off for the longest time. And then I was like, this is ass fucking backwards. Like I'm an ads guy. Yeah. Run fucking ads.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's the weirdest thing.
And then it slapped.
Yeah.
Still slapping right now.
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah. Run them, dude. Just run ads, dude.
Ads.
Stop being a bitch. You have it on your fucking fridge. Don't be a bitch. Number 2 right there.
I don't have a Facebook. I gotta get a Facebook ban up. I lost the You know how you get the Facebook bans and stuff?
Dude, you should run it, honestly.
Huh?
Honestly, you should run it.
I should. I just try it. It's like $1,000.
Just feed your sales guys. You just hired, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, my sales guys cost like $4 or $5K a month. Some of them are higher than that and the whole thing. So
you got to feed them.
Did you have like a VSL you were driving people to, or?
I had all different stuff, dude. Like with marketing, everything goes in cycles. So it works, then it doesn't work, and then once it works for someone, then everyone copies, right? So I would say what I had the most success was 2 funnels. One was short form VSL, like 10 minutes or less. Another was just direct book a call straight up. And I love that one the most because there's no nurturing, which I think is like in large part BS. And it's just like, if you know you have a problem, you're looking for a solution, let's talk. And if it's a fit, let's do business. If it's not, like, I'll help you however I can, sort of thing. But I love direct funnels the most. You pay the most. Again, most people they're afraid to spend the most money. But so you pay the most for those leads because there's so few of them in the auction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I like the direct funnel the best.
Damn, I just
We're
thought of like
we're
a
doing
whole,
DM ads.
I thought of a whole,
I
like,
can never get those to work,
keyword.
dude. But you're selling coaching mostly, right?
Yeah, so it's maybe a little bit of a different
And like,
avatar.
are you selling you're selling to like people that have a drop shipping store or want to start one?
Both, yeah.
Yeah, so like the DM ads for that sort of like what I'll call down market biz op, crush. But for agency or higher ticket, it's really hard because the business owners, they're not chilling in the DMs.
Yeah.
So what worked for that?
My direct
but you guys are getting a ton of clients from DM outbound though.
Yeah, but I literally have my sales guys in Instagram all fucking day.
Mhm.
Right. So now imagine,
but they know.
So they're still on Instagram.
But they know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, but targeted. Like you're not targeting stores that just started. And
No,
aren't doing
we're
any
targeting
volume.
brands with like
but that's just
20,000
that's just
followers.
the creative though. I think the mechanism of getting a DM versus going to a VSL, it's the same thing. Book
It's
or call.
the same. Like yes, but like on the that's not to say these store owners aren't on Insta. They obviously are. But I guess like with DM ads, usually like when you start the ad, you don't know if you're going to end up in the DM. Like if I get served ads all the time. I love getting served ads. You know, when they start to make it so like you can turn ads off. I'm like, no, can I double up?
Yeah.
Can I get 2x the ads, please?
I think it also depends on what the fuck you're selling. Though.
Yeah, the offer matters.
Like the offer matters because like drop shipper, coaching, email marketing, and 3PL, all 3 different things in a sense. And like, for example, for me to get a emerging brand, like, I don't know, doing at least 100K a month to like maybe 300-400K a month. Like they might have an ops person. They might have you have to like, if you do hit them up on Instagram, you might have to go from the marketing person
We have
to
to be
the ops person.
more sort of like
It's more of a sales process, right?
Yeah.
I do think like an email marketing, because I've thought to do either email marketing or like an SEO blogging type of agency. Because the reason I liked it was because it's like, yes, it's performance, but it's like less performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like running an ad. It's either like you did it or you don't do it. And like Klaviyo, you'll make some money no matter what with those emails.
It's very productized.
And it's more like literally like a calf collected type of business. Like, hey, all right, great, you want to do it? Here's a Shopify link. Just like click it, boom, you paid. 3PL, it's more like, all right, like here's onboarding, send inventory. There's a whole bunch of
there's more stuff.
There's more steps to it. But I do think ads could work.
For you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen other 3PLs run ads.
I have too, but I also know, like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm very close with a very, very big 3PL that, like, whatever, I don't want to say their name, but very close with them. And their CEO even told me, like, not last month, the month before, they turned off all their marketing spend, like 0 marketing spend. And they had the same amount of leads show up with no marketing spend than with marketing spend. So I was just
be
like,
delayed though.
Yeah, it could be delayed.
it could be delayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But his thing was like, well, whether we run ads or don't run ads, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
But they have to be doing some, at least organic or some shit.
Well, they have a sales team of like 100 people.
And they're doing
You know what I
outbound
mean?
and
They're
shit?
doing outbound all day. Like, yeah. So it's like, and I think part of like what I'm learning growing business, it's like you can't do everything. Obviously, you have to pick and choose what you are good in, what you're going. But you also need to, like, as a founder, you have to have like the second thing on the back burner just in case the first thing dies. You know, it's like you always have to have like something.
That's like when I was running the ads and I started the
exactly
on Twitter.
The Twitter. I always thought of like, Google X, like where Google pretty much like they have like a whole department that just like creates like brand new things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking that, like, all right, like what's this brand new thing that, like, if Google ads stop working, Google already has like autonomous cars. You know what I mean? It's like there's something else that's like always popping. So do I think ads could work? They could
work. I think you have to try it.
Could they take me fucking 4 months to figure out?
Maybe.
Probably.
But once you figure it out.
But once I figure it out,
It's just a lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lever, dude. Don't be a bitch.
It. We could try it.
Rule 2, don't be a bitch.
Rule 2, don't be a bitch. What's rule number 1?
Rule number 1, win the
day.
Yeah. What's the other one? Get
rich and jacked. I fuck
I'm
with all
not
of them.
Jack. But
I
yeah,
fuck with all of those.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll never.
I'm down with your
Jack.
manifesto.
It's not mine. Kyle, I think Kyle.
I wrote 2 and 3.
You wrote 2 and 3. I just wrote.
He wrote 1.
Anyways, I'm down with all of them.
I think we're good here.
Thanks, boys.
Shout out your stuff real quick if you want to. Where can they find you?
Twitter at the Phil Rivers.
Yeah.
The talent stuff, talenthq.co. And for marketing shit, Growth Point with an E, growthpoint.io.
Oh, nice. You have a site too.
Yeah.
Growth Point. I like it. Cool. No, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
you big
man.
time. This
Thanks
was
for having
sick.
me again, bro.
Oh,
For our sponsors too, shout out. We love you. You're the best.
Shout out
Omnisend.
Omnisend.
Shout out Omnisend.
fun fact, Omnisend was the first email marketing software I ever used for any of my brands.
For real?
This was like 6-7 years ago. And, you know, I continue to use them for multiple years. And even now, like I do recommend them for more like stores that like brands that aren't at 100, 200K a month that are just looking for like an easy plug and
They
play
just need
system.
email.
They
It's
do.
great.
They
Do
do
it,
like
yeah.
50 million a year.
Yeah, I know.
Omnisend.
That's what's
Yeah.
great. Like a year ago, I was like, ooh, maybe I just buy an ESP
Yeah.
because there's a grip and like
ESP
even the
means
ones
what, like the like,
email service provider like
service
Omnisend,
provider?
Klaviyo.
Yeah.
But even like the down market ones, like the 20th most popular ESP, like they're still doing seven figures a year.
Yeah.
And I never, if I said the name, you wouldn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I watched a YouTube video on them. You know, Sassler, like
Yeah.
that. The guy was doing 50 million. He was like literally just all like organic SEO. I just have like an organic SEO team in like Latvia, Lithuania, wherever he's from, and like they literally just like.
But what's
You
crazy
look at
to
the
me,
line.
what's
Yeah.
crazy to me is like people buy these other products, like not Omnisend, not ActiveCampaign, not Klaviyo, but the
Like
number 20,
the number 20.
they're doing
Yeah.
$2 million a year. I'm like, who, what, how?
It's
Who's buying
crazy,
this?
right? Who's
Yeah.
buying it? But somebody's fucking
A
buying
lot of
it.
people are buying it.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
It's wild.
Another before we hop off, we had 2 sponsors, old ones, Printify and Printful. They just merged.
Oh no shit.
Really?
I just saw it on LinkedIn today.
That's
which is kinda nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
nuts.
Dude, the amount of episodes where at the end we go, shout out to our sponsors, boom, boom, and then we're like, Printify, Printful, fuck, which
we
one
don't know
is
which,
it?
'cause they both did it, so we don't know which one is which.
That's huge.
Yeah, huge. It's
Mazel
kinda
tov.
sick.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. We talked to the CMO
Yeah.
once at Printful too.
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
what his name was, but he's
Beast.
a homie. But yeah, shout out to Omnisend. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at like 4K subs, so
Dude,
keep it going.
boom.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.
See
Later.
ya.